the Small Business Resource Center and PeteGustis.com. Just want to give an update on an important question a lot of people are asking and looking up, and is it now a good time to buy stocks? It's always a good time to buy stocks. If that's the answer you want, the answer would be yes. For the average person who purchased stocks, probably now is not a good time. Keep in mind what I'm going to give you is my opinion and my advice and what I'm doing based on the experience and education I've had in the past and the courses that I took on stock trading. Before you make any decisions, always consult your own stock brokerage, use your own opinion, trust your own intuition, because obviously I'm not a paid financial advisor for you. So this is my opinion on everything. First of all, when we had the problems, which we're currently going through with the coronavirus, you'll notice this is a 1 month chart with the Dow Industrial. It went down and then popped up, and it looks like it's in an upward trend. But why I think this is happening? Well, let's look at the S&P too. The same thing, pop down and pop back up. And if you're asking why I think this is happening, it's because a lot of people are unexperienced stock investors are seeing news that the stocks have never been lower and now's a good time to buy, and they're all dumping their savings in, but they're putting the risk that it actually is going to go down, because it is going up depending upon where you bought. And what I believe is going to happen, it's going to go down. So I'm going to explain a couple things, and I'll explain why I believe that. First of all, if you don't understand how stocks work, there's a couple things that I think are the most important. First of all is price per earnings per share, the PE ratio. Basically what happens is they calculate, as you can see here, stock price is earnings per share. If you don't know, it's calculated by subtracting the company's preferred dividends paid from the net income divided by the number of outstanding shares. So what Warren Buffett has stated he does, if my memory serves correct, is he buys on value all the time, 100%, or if he expects the value to change drastically. He looks for stuff that has a very good value, and then of course he expects that to go up, or he does something to make it hopefully better and then increase the value, and as the stock price goes up, his shares are worth more money. That's what most people do. But the other thing that controls the stock price is consumer confidence. Despite anything, this is probably more important, sadly, because of the simple fact that there's a lot of stocks that can be overvalued. I don't want to name names, but they actually still sell very well because the companies do very well. And there's some companies that actually lose money, but they're so big that people put money into the stocks, and the companies will even state, you know, we're barely making money, we're losing money, and the stock prices continue to go up. They have a great plan. They are generating revenue. They're just not hugely profitable. So that's two important things to understand. And basically, the reason why I feel that things are going to go down is I'll have links of all the articles, by the way, and some important information again. The reason why I think that it's going to go down is because as of April 9th, there were 6.6 million Americans filed for unemployment. The other thing you have to keep in mind is this is not counting everybody, and they say there's about 200,000 people per week that are filing. This is not counting the self-employed people, the small business owners, the gig workers like Uber drivers, etc., and that in a lot of states are currently not able to file. When those people are starting to be able to file, those jobless claims are going to go up even higher. So currently those people are not being counted. And keep in mind, we have 30 days to slow the spread. That 30 days to slow the spread is going to last 20 more days. It may also get extended. During that time, a lot of bigger businesses are actually going to be increasing their debt, and they're having a drastically reduced income. And that's why I believe, keep watching the video, that the market's going to get worse. And there's some major companies that are predicted that may even go bankrupt. If you saw what happened at the last time we had the mortgage crisis, what ended up happening is there were smaller companies and smaller banks that did not get saved. They actually end up going out of business completely, or they consolidated some businesses. So if that stuff happens and you have your money in one of those stocks saying, great, everybody's telling me this is going to turn around, and I just sunk my life savings into a company that I'm hoping is going to flip up. What could end up happening is they could go bankrupt. Your stock could go to zero. And instead of flipping up, you just lost everything you have. So keep in mind, this is advice. Do whatever you want with it, but it's not financial advice that I'm telling you to buy or sell any particular stock. And hopefully this is an education, but keep watching because there's more. Right now, if you've been paying attention, the Federal Reserve has the CARES Act, which has put a lot of money into a lot of businesses to help sustain them. We have the Paycheck Protection Program to try to keep businesses open and operational that are able to be open and operational, or to sustain them so when this ends, they can easily open up. We have the $10,000 forgivable loan, which also you can qualify for a larger disaster loan for. And they also have SBA bridge loans, express bridge loans for people who need it, and debt relief. So those programs are actually helping a lot of people currently. But keep in mind, that's increasing company debt. Well, for some of them, they may not have to pay all the debt back. Don't get me wrong. For the larger companies, I don't know what they're going to do, but they're negotiating with them. The one thing I don't like is they're allowed to have secret meetings, you can see, with the Federal Reserve. They're also talking about having a second stimulus already, because you got to keep in mind how much money is being asked for, and larger companies are having problems. Some of these companies, by the way, despite the fact of you not realizing it, are operating in America or around America. I don't want to pick on any like some of the cruise lines, but it's not just cruise lines. They're outside of the United States. They've asked America for stimulus money. Now, the problem that we see here is these companies were avoiding paying American taxes, avoiding American labor laws. That's why they set up their corporations outside of the country. Now they're all of a sudden want to be American and say, give me money, help me. Now that the time that the bailouts here, they want money, but they didn't want to pay American taxes and didn't want to obey American labor laws. More than likely, these companies will not be getting bailout, and there's a very good chance some of these companies that you might have money in could actually go out of business completely, because the countries they're in are much smaller and probably do not have anything in place to help them with a bailout. So if that happens, the stock that you invested in could also go to zero. So whatever your stock you're invested in, you should do some research and make a decision if that's a good choice, because my prediction is it's going up because of consumer confidence and maybe bad information, and bad information being, you're on some website that's telling you to buy now. It's never been a better time. And while the person posting this on the internet's probably dumping all their stocks and you're buying it. The other thing that I want to show you here is actually a great website. It's called Finviz. I use this at times to look at stocks because there's a lot of very good information here. I'm not telling you to buy any of these, by the way, but if you want to look up stocks, they're actually great. You can click on a stock, a lot of information's there. They tell you stocks that went up and down. It's just a great website. Anyways, that's what I've got as far as should you buy stocks right now. My opinion is it's always a good time to buy stocks, but for the average investor who doesn't understand all the technical analysis, you don't have the software and research, you don't understand all the methods of purchasing stocks, I don't think for the average person now is a good time to buy stocks. Pete Gustis, Small Business Resource Center. Like, subscribe, and share this with a friend.